Welcome, everybody, to the Local Pundit. It is your Game Day Build-Up show, and I'm not alone this morning. I've got a man that will make your back crack. He'll make your liver quiver. He'll make your knees freeze. He's the man of the hour, the man with the power. That's right. It's Paddy Power.
Hey!
Been a while since I did the Paddy intro.
Hello, everybody.
Oh, yeah, not too bad. I'm excited. Some fun results happening right now. Norwich winning at the moment, or at least they were last I checked.
Yeah, still 2-1.
All kinds of fun stuff. Lots of changes to our team, so we can get into that. A few changes in their team, too. So we'll see what's going on. Everybody in the chat, how we doing? We got loads in the chat already. Who all's in here? Let's see. We'll
That's
call
because
them
you're
out.
late, Aaron.
I know. Well, I pushed it just a little bit. I was setting up the lineups. I had to push it 5 minutes. Brian Burton, Nick Donnellan, James Lee, Ted Nelson. Who else we got in here? Andrew, Bruce. I think Wayne Evans. What's up, buddy? Danta, what's up, buddy? Yes, everybody in the chat. The chat's chatting. Love to see it. All right. Well, let's get into this thing. I will pull up these lineups and let's see what we think. So here's our lineup. We've got Okonkwo in goal, Doyle, Hyam, and Max at the back, McLean on the left, Longman on the right, Matty James in midfield, Dobson and O'Brien, Windass and Moore up top. Any surprises to you, Paddy, there?
None.
Yeah, me neither.
None.
I think when we did this on Thursday, I'm pretty positive that's the exact team I put out there. I may not have had Dobson, I may have had somebody else, but I think that's basically exactly what I had out there. So no surprises.
Do you know what? I suppose the biggest thing that could be a surprise is Sheaf not being in there at all at the moment.
Yeah.
So that's the biggest one. Everything else is very straightforward.
Yeah.
To be honest.
Yeah. I mean, the one that I'd have liked to have been able to change would have been McLean, but unfortunately, we just don't have.
Who are you going to change?
Got through. Yeah, we can do. We just don't. We can't do it. Nice. Hashtag save Max. Max the Unstoppable. This Josh Anthony guy, never heard of her. McLean, I think he'd be the one that I would have liked to have changed, but we just don't have any options right now, unfortunately. So, and he's not been terrible. It's just, he's definitely shown his legs a little bit here, especially that last game. He looked a little wore out. He looked like a guy that's 36-year-old playing, several games a week. But he's played decent. He's played decent though.
He has. The only thing I'm worried about with Sheaf is the fact he's not playing full matches. It really seems like there's a bigger issue there than I was expecting.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
it seems like he has been going longer in games though here lately. But I'm not surprised that they're going to change him. I actually said Thursday because I wasn't sure about James's knee, because right at the end of our game, if you remember, he kind of fell kind of weird. It was like his foot got caught underneath him, and it took him a minute. I mean, he ended up finishing out the game, but he looked kind of weird. So, that one kind of I wasn't sure if he was going to make it in, or if he was going to be all right or not. But he must be okay. Got a question in the chat. Andrew McWaters, is Scar injured? No, I think we just needed some fresh legs back. A little different look. Doyle's looked really good in the 2 games where he's came on halfway through the game. So I think right now with what we got, I think that's probably our best back 3. So with what we got healthy.
Yeah. Josh was talking about this, and he said it himself that Max is not going to be dropped. I think we do need Doyle in, and we need to kind of just live with maybe some of his flaws, but he is able to get the ball out better. And that means he's taken the spot where Hyam was. But then you have, are you going to bench Hyam or not? And the answer is no. You're not going to bench Hyam.
Yeah.
So Scar ends up on the bench. Josh was saying you could push Scar out and take Clewart's spot. I don't think that's an amazing change. I understand sitting Clewart for a little bit. It's not the end of the world, but we don't have anybody to do it with.
Yeah.
I don't think
if Brent was healthy, I think he'd go out there.
You could maybe try it, yeah.
But he's not been healthy. So.
I don't think putting Scar out in that position is any better than having Clewart.
No, I honestly
think better than Scar.
I don't think he'd put I don't think you'd put Scar out there anyway. I think it'd be Hyam. I think Hyam would go out there and Scar would stay in the middle if you wanted to keep Scar in. That'd be how you do it. Hyam would go out to the right.
Okay, but if we're seeing deficiencies in Hyam on the left, is it going to be any different on the right?
Well, he's right-footed. I think his deficiencies on the left are because he's right-footed.
Okay.
I think that's one of his biggest issues. So if you're gonna make that change, I would put. I would, if you wanted to keep Scar in, you could. It would be Hyam to go out to the right, though. You would push. Yeah, I think with speed wise, I think
changes for Parky. He's too risk adverse for that.
Yeah. And let's see. Yeah, other than that, O'Brien coming in doesn't surprise me at all. I've actually been surprised he's not played as much as he's been on the bench more than I thought he'd be. Like he's not even coming off in some of our games, coming off the bench in some of our games, which I found really surprising. I thought that last match he was screaming for his energy in the midfield. So I was a little disappointed he didn't come in. But yeah, I think that one doesn't surprise me at all that he's going to play. It'll be interesting to see if they do rotate to that box midfield a little bit. Maybe Dobson drops a little deeper and O'Brien goes a little further forward. They could. We'll see how it plays out. But with this lineup, that's something that you could do mid-game. You know what I mean? You can tweak and they don't have to. It's not a big change. Windass just slides over and Dobson slides back a little. So we'll see how we go. For them, let's talk about them real quick. I'm gonna get this. So in goal, Selvich. I'm not sure how it's pronounced. He's in goal. He's wearing the number 1 shirt, so I assume he's their number 1 keeper. But he hasn't played in the last few matches, so I don't know if that was an injury or if he was dropped for form. So they did make a change in goal. And then in the back 4, they're going to go Bola on the left, Pollock and Allen. I don't know. Maybe I don't know. It's a weird spelling. And Abankwa on the right there. Kiprianu and Luza in the middle. Luza's a fantastic player. And then Mama on the right, or Mama, I don't know. It's a weird name too. They got some wonderful names on this team. Let me tell you. Kayimbe on the left, Dumbaya will play. He'll play this role. They kind of change. It's a 4-4-2. In defense it'll look like this.
Yeah.
They'll have 2 banks of 4 with these 2 up top. And then in attack, it kind of turns into a 4-2-3-1 where you got the wingers coming up, and then Dubai will come in and play in behind Karamgard up top. And Karamgard's pretty good. He's had a pretty decent season for him. He came from, I think, the 2nd division in Denmark, if I remember correctly. So it's interesting. I like to see teams do stuff like that. I'd like to see us do stuff like that. Find some players in some of these different leagues that you don't really hear about a lot, and see how they go. But I nothing too crazy for them. There was a couple changes from what I thought there would be, but nothing wild. I think the biggest one was just in goal. So, like I said, I don't know if that's a change because of form or if that's a change because of an injury. So.
Okay, I was just having a look at that here. So, Egil Selvich had a shoulder injury.
Okay.
And it did say expected return late December, but obviously that's not the case.
Okay,
he's
so
now
he's
back.
All right.
He has played 14 matches, kept 1 clean sheet, and conceded 17 goals, which is not bad for 14 matches.
Yeah, not terrible. A little over a goal per match.
Yeah, so I'm guessing he is their solid number one.
Their number
who's
one,
been out for injury for a while. But of course, being your first match back from injury may or may not be a good thing. So we'll see. A little bit of rust, maybe. Who knows?
I hope so. Let's pepper his goal and find out.
Yeah.
That's what we need to do. Let's see. Here we go. Here's a comment. Let's get your thoughts on this. Hardy is being hard done by Parky.
Yeah. I think that's an easy enough one to kind of make that claim. Yeah.
Yeah, he's not. He's. The problem is when he got his chance, he didn't take it.
He didn't defend. That's why he didn't do.
He didn't. Yeah, he doesn't at all. He's. When we don't have the ball, he's non-existent, and that doesn't work for Parky.
Now, interestingly, I think he was getting better just before he got benched.
Yeah.
So he had started moving, but yeah, I don't know whether he had already lost a bit of Parky's eye by the time he's done that, because it's the one thing Parky hates. He demands full defense out of everybody. Doesn't matter what position you are. Even Kiefer Moore is back in the box heading balls around.
Yeah.
You know, so if you didn't know that about Parky when you signed for our team, you're a little bit silly. Because he did the one thing you cannot do. Brunt had his issues in the past too. He made some big mistakes in defense and he got dropped and was out of the team for a significant period. And you will eventually get your chance to come back. Now, maybe Hardy is in a little bit different situation because of the people ahead of him. So I can understand why he might want to just go and say, look, it didn't work out. So yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Yeah, I mean, it's interesting. He's been a double-digit goal scorer in a championship last couple seasons.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. He's a player. He definitely can get in behind the opposition. He's real good at getting in behind their back line. We just aren't playing that way really right now. We're playing more balls up to a guy. And he's definitely not that type of player. He's not a hold-up player. I still think I understand why we bought him, though, because he was so cheap and it was an upgrade on what we had at the time. Yeah. But then once we brought in Windass and Moore and Broadhead, I mean, you just see Hardy dropping down the ladder. And then we know that Smith will defend. You know what I mean? And Parky knows that. So that's why Smith's been getting the nod where Hardy hasn't. And, that's my thoughts on it.
Yeah, if I was Hardy coming in, you might have to expect time on the bench. That's fairly standard. Like, his team got relegated down to League One, and it was very likely we were going to majorly upgrade in the front as well. So you would certainly have competition, but maybe he didn't really see Smith as his competition, and Smith probably shouldn't really be his competition. You know, he should be a level above that, and he should be starting above Smith, but somewhat them's the breaks. Like, we don't see what happens behind the scene. Maybe if he was good enough in training, then he would be getting the nod over Smith. You know, so I don't know how he's reacted to this, what his expectations were, or anything like that. So,
yeah.
Lexi with the fire.
I don't think he's on 30K a week.
No, I don't believe for a second.
I don't think he's anywhere near that. I don't know. He might be half that, but yeah. Oh shoot. Let's see here. What else we got? So let's go into O'Brien a little bit. Let's talk about O'Brien.
Yep.
O'Brien, I'm actually surprised he's been dropped as much as he has, because yes, he's missed open chances, but he's also created those open chances, whereas nobody else has. nobody else has done that while they've been in. He's created all that. His energy in the midfield is unbelievable, and we need that. I thought the last couple games, it showed a lot that we didn't have that kind of energy in the midfield, and we really missed it. His pressing, when we don't have the ball, is really, really good. And he just causes teams havoc, man. I mean, really, really enjoy watching him play. So I'm glad to see him back in the lineup. What's your thoughts on him?
If you're going to exclude Windass, which I'm going to for the purposes of this question, it's clearly obvious that O'Brien is our most attacking midfielder. It's very obvious. There's nobody else there that is above him in the rankings of where he should be. Dobson also cannot finish. He is very good as a centre mid. He needs to pass the ball off. He cannot finish himself. Matty James is defensive, purely defensive, kind of like Sheaf. So who else is up there? Thomason is a bit of a mix. Hasn't shown how strong he can be in attack. So it's O'Brien. And we have not been playing him. Now, maybe he did have a small knock that was hidden or wasn't mentioned, and not enough to keep him off the bench, but maybe enough to kind of sideline him. Who knows? But otherwise, it doesn't really make a lot of sense. When you analyse the matches back, to me, it's quite clear we could have done with O'Brien.
Yeah.
We needed him in there.
Yeah, I think having him in there makes a lot of sense to me. I just don't. I understand dropping him for some rest. I didn't understand him being out so long. I know the team was doing well. We were getting draws, but even in those draws, we were lacking that attacking threat that he gives us. And so it's while it was working, I thought it was a little too defensive. I don't think Thomason fits that role as well. I think what Thomason did do was help defend out wide, kind of shore things up with McLean. But and that's probably why Parkey went with him. But I do think having O'Brien in there. I mean, here's the thing, and Parkey said it in his post game. Our passing was terrible last game, and so some of that was coming from Thomas, and some of that was coming from Dobson. Our decisions in the midfield we just weren't making good decisions with the ball. We were giving it away way too cheap. And I think that's something that O'Brien excels at. He's a really good passer of the ball. So yeah, I think we've been needing him, needing O'Brien, and I'm glad he's back in the lineup.
And when we were getting pressure in the end of matches recently, and Parkey stayed defensive with his changes, I was saying, no, it doesn't make sense to me. We are getting all of this pressure because they're dominating us. We need someone who can attack back and push on them and break the lines and get us out of the defensive mode. And he can pass to do that. He can pass in between the lines. He can, and he's quicker, than a lot of other people as well. Like bringing on James. Okay, James is solid in defense, but he's not quick. He can make him a nice pass too. But who's he going to pass to? That's the problem. O'Brien can run it himself out into a channel, and then he can pass around. And that might give us 60 seconds of having the ball and just slowing things down, letting everybody get back in position and getting more comfortable. So for me, Parkey was kind of doing the wrong thing in trying to make the substitutions to keep us solid instead of attacking out when we allowed ourselves to get caught in that position. I didn't understand that for me.
I think he links our our midfield to our attack. Very like he's that link in between. I know Josh was talking about he doesn't like how Broadhead was dropping so deep. I think it was Josh. Now that I say that, maybe it was Welsh Techie. I can't remember. I was listening to so many podcasts last few days. It was either Josh on his podcast or when me and him did a podcast together, or it was Welsh Techie was talking about it on their podcast yesterday. They were talking about somebody was talking about Broadhead dropping so deep, and they didn't like that he dropped so deep because it brought him away from more, and so he wasn't supporting more. And I think that's because the midfielders we had in there don't link
couldn't
with the
get the
attack
ball up
very well. They're so deep, and so he's having to come deep to get the ball, and then try to push it back forward. With O'Brien in there, you don't have to come back that far because O'Brien will bring the ball to you.
He'll bring it forward. He'll bring it to you. Waiting for the pass.
He'll be that link. Yeah, he'll be that link where we can have two attackers, and I think that's what we saw in the against Coventry. You know what I mean? We had that link in the midfield, and we're able to. Oh, there you go. Yeah. Matty James said his knee's still swollen, but feels good enough to play. Yeah, I was wondering about his knee. That scares me.
That's a horrible answer.
I know it scares me a little bit. I ain't got a left sheath on, but we'll see. They're professionals. We'll let them figure it out. Norwich wins 2-1. That's a massive win for them. I wonder if Southampton are all of a sudden wondering maybe they shouldn't have hired the guy as coach. He's gonna start losing now.
As soon as they give him
the full-time job. You know what's funny? That's what happened to Swansea last year. They hired the guy that came in as their interim because he started winning some games, and then as soon as they hired him, they went on a really bad run, and they ended up firing him. 10 weeks into the season or whatever it was. So, that's how it goes. That's why a lot of people just are automatically against hiring an interim, because if you had him there and you had somebody else in charge of him, then there's a reason. You know what I mean? You picked the other guy for a reason. You know what I mean?
The interesting question is, how bad does your relationship become if you don't give him the job? If you just let it roll, like in this scenario, the club has the absolute dominance here. You have an under-21 coach who has just been given the under-21 role. Essentially, he's still new to you. Yeah. What's he going to do? Is he going to demand to leave? Is he going to get a job somewhere else because you don't give him his contract? Like, surely you can have that conversation and say, right, what we're willing to do at the moment, you're doing really well, is we're willing to give you the opportunity. We'll sign a contract in the new year.
Yep.
Get us to halfway and do well. And the contract is yours. So it's all to play for. We can change our mind between now and then if results go bad. You still have your under 21s. But here's your opportunity. You're going to get a significant amount of games. Go for it. And we're going to hold off with the managers we have. We'll discuss it with them. We'll tell them whatever that we're holding off the decision at this time. And fair on both sides. So we'll see what happens now.
Yeah, for sure. Matt, I was just throwing out there. Watford players are warming up in front of me now, and they look knackered. I swear they're not putting any effort into their warm-ups. I hope you're right, Matt Al. I hope you're right.
Did you get around to watching the Baz interview?
No, I still haven't.
You still haven't, right? So the reason I brought that up is Baz said that we are making players warm up too hard before the match. You are warming them up to a point that they're already losing energy before the match even starts. And his opinion is that you should go a little bit more old school, in that you can use the first couple of minutes to warm the players up, and they will last longer and be stronger at the end of the match. Now, of course, there's a slight risk that the other team is more warmed up than you and, gets an extra yard and gets a couple of shots or whatever. But Yeah, I kind of agree with what he's saying. Especially if they're pushing him that hard. You know, how long does it really take a professional player to warm up when you also have a gap between that warm up and standing around and waiting? So I don't know. I agree. A very light, gentle warm up might be a better option.
It's interesting. I'll be honest, I've never really spent a lot of time thinking about it.
Because you don't see it on TV very often, and you don't watch it.
Yeah, you don't. Yeah, you don't. Yeah. That's interesting. I'd never even crossed my mind.
And I would guess, especially on multi-match weeks, you know, where you have done 90 minutes already and your legs might be that little bit tired.
I'm trying to look up something. I wanted to see a stat. There's a stat. So Watford, they've won one away game this season. And that was a 3-2 win at Derby. But before that, their last away win was February 15th, 2025, a 1-0 against Middlesbrough. So they're not a team that win a lot on the road.
Yeah.
So that's good. But like I told Josh I can't remember if it was when me and Josh did the podcast or if I was one of the ones I was in the chat. But so that inevitably means we'll lose today. It's just how it goes for us. It seems like teams do that shit to us. But yeah, we'll see how it goes. Will be interesting. Let's see. John Olson. Late subs is more of an issue than overwork and warm-ups. Parkey consistently leaves gas players on the pitch 5 to 10 minutes too long. I think he's actually, I'll be honest, to be fair, I think he's done a better job of that this season. I think he's maybe not like the last game specifically, but over the season, he's been bringing them on quicker. He's been bringing guys off earlier.
True, but to get specifically at the point, he's saying that it's more of an issue. Why are they gassed?
Yeah.
Late in the match. Is it purely because they're old? Okay. Well, if you have Matty James and McLean, and you know that they won't be able to last the entire match, do they even need a warm up? More than a light jog around the pitch, you know? Do they actually need that?
Dude, here's this right here. Comment of the day. Looking forward to Josh trying to call the opposing players' names today. They're awful. Some of these names are awful. I mean, look at Karam Guard. The only reason I know how to say that is because I've heard other people say it. I have no idea how to say mama, I assume. I mean, I don't know. I don't know how you'd pronounce that. 2 A's. Mama. Just, it's a queen. It's queen. There you go.
I don't want to die.
Oh, see, there you go. Lexi was all over it. Lexi was in the comment.
I saw the comment.
Okay, gotcha. Love it. Absolutely love it. Oh, shoot. All right. So I guess we can pull up some. I can take that down if you want. Overall, what do you think? I mean, how important is this game as far as our position in the table?
I think it's very important.
Yeah, I mean, every game is at a certain point. But, I mean, is it – I know Josh, you know, he likes to overdo things sometimes. So he's like, it's a must-win. It's a must-win. Like, I don't think it's a must-win. I don't think any game's a must-win. But I understand, like, you want to see – what I want to see is I want to see a bounce back. I want to see a good performance today. If we lost but played really well, I wouldn't be, like, super upset. You know what I mean? As long as we got that. If we got a good performance and just, you know, their keeper just has a worldie of a day and he just stops everything and we just can't get goals to go in. I think I just don't, you know, we're nowhere near the drop zone. We're nowhere near, you know, relegation. So I'm not overly worried about dropping points today, but I just want to see us play better. I want to see shots on goal. We've not created much offensively, and I want to see some of that today. So I think to me that's important.
It is important, and I absolutely agree with what you're saying, but I think it depends on where you're putting the goalposts.
Yeah.
And I think we've already moved them because most of us were quite comfortable being upper table this season, and now we're talking playoffs. We're constantly talking playoffs. We're close enough, playoffs. We can do it. And we can, if we stay close enough, have a nice January, we could very well have a very strong second half.
Yeah.
So they're close enough. And I think we've moved the goalposts to talking about the playoffs. And if we don't make them, we don't make them. I'm not actually that worried.
Yeah.
And I don't think it'll be a terrible season. Yeah. But considering we have moved the goalposts, and I think a lot of people have moved the goalposts because of the start we've had. In fairness, after the bad start, we came back. Yeah. And how the team looked with our best players.
Yeah.
And that the boys are pushing. Yeah, they're going to spend in January. They're going to push for it. They're going to try. So if you keep that in mind, if we draw today, we will be 6 points away from playoffs with a lot of traffic in between us. So it's not as easy as win 2 matches. You can make up those 6 points. Not a hope every team above you is going to lose those. So you're probably talking 4 weeks of matches, or 4 matches at least, however many weeks that becomes, maybe 5. To get back up there, to be on that doorstep. So that's not the simplest thing in the world if we drop more points today.
Yeah, that's fair. I've not moved my goalpost. I just want to be in the discussion at the end of the season. If we're anywhere near the playoffs, I'll be happy. I'll be super happy. So if we end up finishing the season 11th, 10th, 9th, 8th, that's all right. That's a fantastic season in my eyes. My goals, and you'll remember this. I said I want to finish ahead of Swansea, and I want to finish ahead of 15th because it'll be our best season in club history. That's what I want. I want to be the top finishing team in Wales, and I want to be have our best league finish in club history. That's what I'm after, and I'm still with that. I understand why people are getting excited because we are playing well and we've been close to the playoffs, but we've still not broken into the playoffs yet. So I don't think I don't think we should demand that we make playoffs. You know what I mean? I don't think that's fair.
Yeah.
But yeah, depending on what, like you said, depending on what happens in January and what happens with injuries, because right now, I'll be honest, if we had Kabore and Kakache healthy, we're a really good team. If you look, our best performance of the season, I think everybody can agree, our best performance of the season was Coventry.
Yeah.
That was one of the few games where we had both those players on the pitch. And we looked so good with them. And so, unfortunately, injuries have just kind of hampered us. And so we're having to use players that just aren't quite up to the level. And get by with them. And I think they've done really well, to be fair to them. You know, I mean, they're not at the level, but they've played really well in several games, but I just don't think they're players you can lean on for, game after game after game. And unfortunately, that's what we're having to do. Our depth is our problem. Ted Nelson, depth is our Achilles heel. Yeah.
To be fair, looking at the teams we have been putting out lately, and the players we've been using, I would expect us to be having much worse results.
Yeah.
So, that is fair to them. And just to speak on it for a moment, because we were talking about the upper end of the table, if we were to lose today, 10 points at the moment off the relegation zone, I'm starting to think that relegation zone is going to have a much bigger gap this season than it may have in the past seasons. I don't think as many teams are going to be as close to that drop zone as has happened in other seasons. I'm even though we're 15th and it won't look great, we can actually only get jumped by Derby now today.
Yeah.
So worst case scenario, we end up 16th. and then we still have 4 points, 5 points to the kind of ones behind us, there's a big gap down to relegation. So we're nowhere near that at the moment, and it would take horrendous results to January to kind of push us near it. So that's kind of off the table. If we don't make playoffs, we don't make playoffs, but I'm fairly confident we'll end up somewhere mid-table-ish.
Yeah. I'm going to bring up the table real quick, and so we can look at that, and we can kind of discuss, see what you're talking about. Here we go. So here we go. Coventry up top, obviously, 44 points. Middlesbrough on 39. Crazy how quick that gap evaporated. They had a 10-point gap a couple games ago.
They had a wobble.
Yeah, just a little bit.
But interestingly, if you just look at the last 5 matches
Mm-hmm.
for both teams, they've had exactly the same points.
Yeah, I know, same results. Yep, same results, just in different order.
Yeah.
Preston, of course. They play this morning? They played this morning, didn't they?
Yes.
And did they win? Yeah. Okay. So yeah. Millwall on 35. I still think, negative 2 goal difference. I think they're an overachiever. Ipswich.
Well, today they might keep overachieving.
I know they may. But Ipswich on a plus 15 goal difference, 34 points. They're going to be moving up the table. Stoke got a win today. I watched that game. They were pretty dominant. I assume it finished 2-0. That's where it was at when I quit watching. That was against Swansea. Hull, 31 points. We just played them. They're a hit and miss team. They can have games like they did against us where I think they look pretty good, and then they'll have games where they just look awful. And I think we just caught them on the wrong night. They were looking for a bounce back from that one. QPR, they've been on a decent run here lately, 4 of 5, 4 wins of 5, but they've got Middlesbrough today, so we'll see how that goes.
That match finished 2-1 actually. Sorry, the Stoke Swansea City, they came back with 1.
Oh, did they? 2-1. Okay, gotcha. Southampton up to 30 points, and they obviously lost today. That's a surprise. That was a surprise.
No, they're playing QPR today.
Who? Southampton?
Oh, sorry, I'm mixing up Middlesbrough.
I was talking about Southampton. Southampton lost to Norwich today.
Yeah.
Yep. And then Bristol on 30. This is where just look how tight this is.
Yeah, and Southampton have Coventry next.
Yeah,
that's a tough one for them next.
Yeah, that'll be a tough one.
That'll keep them potentially around that position.
Yeah. Bristol on 30 points also. They play Coventry today, so that'll be a tough one for them. Birmingham on 28. They've got Charlton today. You would expect a win there, I would think. But you never know with Nathan Jones. He might work his – I kind of hope, just for the comedy of what we get to deal with John on Monday, that Charlton gets a draw or something, just so we can hear John rant for a little bit. See what kind of names he can come up for Nathan Jones.
I'll tell you, if he hands him a loss today,
oh my Lord.
I'd say the 50-50 shot John won't come on Monday.
He'll come up with a reason to miss. Oh, shoot. No, I would expect a Birmingham win today. And then, of course, Watford have us today. So we'll see how that one goes. That's a big game. That's us playing a team right there around us. They're 1 point ahead of us. So, and then Leicester right behind, right there with them. West Brom got a win today. Massive, or I guess it was last night. Sorry. Big win over Sheffield United, who'd been hot last couple games. So, I think that's a really big win for them.
Guess who called the 2-0 loss?
I know, you bum. Get out of here.
I'm telling you, I'm not that set on Sheffield United. They haven't convinced me yet with those couple of wins.
Mm-hmm.
Not against the teams they were playing.
There is an argument to be made that they weren't against really good teams. I think.
Yeah.
I can't remember exactly what it was, but I don't think they were like. I don't think they're beating massive teams that you would be super surprised about. Of course, us on 27, Derby on 27, and then as you said, below that it drops to 23. So there's a 5-point gap between 16th and 17th. So that's that's good, I guess. We want to stay above that gap, and you'd like to think you'll drop down even lower. You just see how that gap from even 17th to 21st is that's decent gap. 4 points, and then it's 6 points to the drop zone. So I mean, there's from that 17th to the drop zone. So that's I mean,
Yeah,
I
and
feel
16th is worth with another 4 points. Then that's where another
yeah,
big gap.
exactly. I mean, that's the thing.
Yeah.
It's there, and there's a lot of teams in between us and that.
Yeah.
So that's why I said I'm feeling pretty comfortable right now. I'm not too worried. I do still think Norwich will probably figure out. They'll get their way out of it, but I think we'll be seeing like Oxford. Or I think Wednesday. Obviously, we know we're down. But I think Portsmouth are in serious trouble because they don't look like winning. Although, to be fair to them, they do have a game in hand on everybody because they've only played 19. Which when do they? I wonder when they make that one up. That's interesting. I didn't realize. Oh, that was because of this. That was the Charlton game, wasn't it? Where the fan passed away. Okay, that was them. Yeah, that's right. Okay, so that's why they've got an extra game in hand. So, maybe that helps them a little bit. Maybe that brings them closer to Oxford there. But yeah, I think Oxford, Blackburn, Swansea, those are the teams. Even Charlton, I guess. Those are the teams I'd be really worried about. I think Sheffield United will win enough games to keep yourself out of it. I do think Norwich will get themselves out of it too. They're on their current form. If they stick with that, I think they'll get out of it soon enough.
Look at Sheffield Wednesday have more points than Charlton in the last 5. 5 red losses in a row up on that board. Look at that.
That's pretty poor. It's a poor run. Which should make it even more hilarious if they
Yeah.
Oh, shoot.
Yeah.
Love you, John. Love you, John.
Yeah, so Josh put up there that Ryan is in the building, and it was reported earlier that Rob had been seen too. So I guess both the boys might be here today.
Cool. I wonder if that has something to do with the new ownership thing. Maybe I wonder if they're doing some stuff at the club, doing some talking,
maybe they're bringing them in
like that. Yeah, that'd be cool. That'd be real cool. Good to see the boys at the game. They haven't done many this year, have they? Have they done what? Have they been at any? I'm trying to think which games they've been at. One, maybe?
One at the very start of the season. I think that's it.
Yeah. So good to see the boys there. I like that. All right. Shoot. Well, we're getting close to throwing it over to Josh. A few minutes left. So, Paddy, give us a little rundown. What do you think for the day? What was your prediction? What are you expecting today? What do you want to see out of us?
I think my prediction was 3-0. I'm not quite sure. I was using my brain on that one, but we do need to have a decent match. We need to have a comeback a little bit. Although, do you know what? I always get nervous when the boys are in town because we don't have a fantastic record when people are watching them. And you know what? The same as well. When we're on TV, I must go back and actually analyze the matches where we're on TV because we're dreadful when we're the featured match.
Yeah.
And we're the featured match for the FA Cup as well, actually.
I actually watched them. I watched their Europa League game from last, I guess it was Thursday night. Nottingham Forest, that is. They're a good side. It'll be interesting to see what kind of side they put out against us. I guess in the chat real quick, everybody drop your scores. What do you think the scores are going to be? What's your predictions in the chat? I think I went 2-1. I got to check. I could double check myself. I don't remember.
I think we can win this one. and being at home as well. Come on, guys.
Right. Oh, here we go. We gotta find it. Yeah, I went 2-1.
Yeah, you've been saying what I usually say, which is I just want to see a good performance. I'm the other way around, because I know it's not our strongest team, so I really don't give a crap about the performance. I just want them to sneak the win any way they can. I don't even care if it's a penalty that's not deserved. Yeah. Just take the points and run, because we need to just survive till our best players come back in January, when we potentially upgrade a few places to get back to our best team. At the moment, just drag the points however you can get them.
All right. Ted Nelson got his in 3-1 for Ted. Guys, thanks for coming in. Get your little break. I think Josh will be on here in a couple minutes. So get you some food, a snack, and a drink, and get ready. Matt Al says 2-2. Paul Kelly says 2-1. Everybody get ready. Get ready for Josh. He'll be screaming danger and all sorts of wild stuff. He'll be screaming at Max, no doubt. Get him out of there. He's terrible. I can hear it now.
And after the match, come join me. I will be doing extra time again as normal. After the match, we had a great extra time after the last loss. We had loads of people in, which was great. So follow that up today, guys. Win or lose or draw or anything else. I want loads of people into extra time to have a good chat today.
All right, everybody. Have fun. Let's up the town. And on that bombshell, we will see you all soon.
Take care. Bye.